morning, guys. So welcome back to another video. I am as you guys can tell, I'm probably not excited to do that. I'm excited to do my hair, but I know that today's already gonna be a long day. So it is 7:54 right now, and I'm going to start taking down this braid style that I did, which I'll link up in one of these corners. I seem to get that wrong all the time, but I'll link up in one of these corners if you guys are interested in that look. It was just like a medium kind of box braid blonde style that I think was great for the spring, but I'm taking it down now and we're gonna do, as you can see from the title of the thumbnail, passion twist. So like I said, it's like late 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna go ahead, take all this down, get my hair washed, detangled, ready for the next style, and see if I can finish it in a day. It's kind of like a challenge, but not really. Anyways, I will see you guys whenever I install the hair. So right now I am just going to go ahead and go through the process of shampooing, conditioning, and putting a leave-in in my hair. I'll be quiet, you guys kind of get the gist of what's happening. I'm just cleansing my hair to prep for me to put the new style in. This must be what So once I'm done washing and conditioning and going through that full routine, then I get out, spray my heat protectant, and then get to blow drying. The pig part actually came off, which was actually really annoying, but I just do this process until my hair is completely blow dried. So once the hair is completely blow dried, then I'll just go in and get to parting, and I am doing the rubber band method, so each individual part will have a rubber band attached to the root once I've gelled it down, but you'll see kind of how I set my parting up. I just start in the back and then work my way up. And I am doing smaller twists, so I will have smaller sections, but I don't know exactly how many I have in my head. But I am just going to go ahead and finish gelling this down and getting it sectioned off. Please just give me attention. I've been seeking hard. I can't feel nothing but pain. Funny and silly how I'm feeling. Looking at the ceiling, now it's spinning. Oh no, caught up in a moment every minute. So showing the tools that I'll be using, I just have the jam, the rubber band, the rat tail comb, the crochet needle, some clips, and the hair. I ended up not using the color 27, but I do have it pictured here. Then I'm just going to go ahead and get started on the hair, which this isn't a very good shot, but I did want to show me actually starting the process of crocheting the hair in and twisting. This must be what made it Alright, so I am pretty close to finishing my entire head. It took only like so long, but I'm gonna show you guys kind of a step-by-step process and then show you guys again just from a different angle. So I take the Let's Jam, you can do Shine and Jam as well, they both work fairly well, and then I hook the crochet needle through, then put the 2 half pieces of hair through the crochet needle and pull it through. And then what I'm going to do here is create a loop, and then from one side I'm going to pull that strand or those 2 strands through, and then I'm going to loop it around almost as if you're doing like a butterfly lock, which I do have a video on that, so I'll link that for you guys to reference. And then once I loop that around the root a good 2 or 3 times, I'm going to go ahead and twist the hair downward. So once I got to the end of the hair, I basically just twirl it around my finger, and then I'm going to that dead kind of scraggly end off and let it go. And then I have a few more sections. I'm going to show you guys a few more times just so you guys can get the process. And hopefully my repeated explanation kind of makes a little bit more sense. So take whatever gel you're using, get something with not a lot of water in it because you don't want your hair to revert back. And you want to make sure it's as flat as possible and not gonna have any frayed ends. So I have two pieces, one of the 613 and one of the 4, and you see how they're going in the same direction. That's what you want when you're creating your twist. So for each piece, I'm gonna half both. And from those halves, I'm gonna combine those together, and then I'll put that through the crochet needle and then loop it through. And then once I've looped it through, I'm going to pull one strand, only one, and leave the other one on the other side beneath the rubber band where the root is. Then I'm going to wrap it around, specifically in the direction that I will be twisting in. So I'm going to wrap it around the base, which is where the rubber band is, split my hair into 2, and then I'm going to proceed to a 2-strand twist all the way down. Again, once you get to the end, unless you're going to rubber band your hair or cut it at a certain length, just wrap it around your finger and then cut these scraggly ends off. In this particular case, I did not like how this twist came out. As you can tell, I did not twist in the right direction, so that's how that looked, which looks terrible. So I'm going to take it out, which is super easy to do, and then I'm going to go in the opposite direction from when I initially twisted and make sure that it goes kind of not against the grain, but it flows the way that it needs to. So now that I'm done, I'm just gonna go through my hair and see what pieces kind of need to be redone, like not going in the same direction. Take those out and then just retwist them so that they're like unison with the rest of my hair. And now I am officially done. So I'm just going to take the ends, line them up to where I want them to be or to my liking, and then clip any of those scraggly pieces off from both sides. And then I'll show you guys how I preserve my hair at night. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the mousse like I always do with my protective styles. I just apply that to the root of my head, and then I'll put some on my palm and then kind of run that through the actual strands of hair. Next, I'll go ahead and just wrap my hair up, and I didn't realize how much hair this was. It was hard to get through that large, it was actually a headband. And then I'm just gonna put my scarf on and then put my bonnet on top as well, which also make sure that you have a really big bonnet to make sure that you can actually put all of the hair in the bonnet and protect it at night. Hey guys, so the hair is officially done. It is the next day, and I wanted to show you guys what it looked like and also kind of walk you through just the process and kind of tips that you might need to know. But this is how it ended up turning out. I did take my scarf off like you saw in the last clip. I did apply foaming mousse to kind of flatten it down a bit. I think after a few days it'll kind of flatten a little bit more to my liking, but I think it looks good right now too. So just to kind of talk you guys through the installation process, I used about, okay, let me think. Installation. I used about one and really like a third of a pack of the color for hair, which is obviously the brownish color that is in these twists, and then about one pack of the 613 hair, maybe 1 1/3 too. It was about 1 1/3 pack of the 613 hair as well, so it was just like a 1-to-1 match for the individual pieces of hair in total. And I know I showed like a color 30 or color 27 at the beginning, and I did that in like some parts of the twist, which I actually think that they look nice. I didn't feel like doing that, so the rest of my hair is just 613. That is the color 27. I ended up not like really using it. I just did 613 all over my head, but when I did start in the back, which I'm trying to find like a piece, hold on. When I did start in the back, I did use this kind of like 27 color, which my face is like in the freaking camera. I'm trying to show you guys the color of the hair. So it's like this color, which is much, much darker than the like 613 color. But anyways, I didn't feel like taking it out, so I just left it in there. I would say this style probably took about 9.5 hours to actually do, but that's because they're like a lot smaller. They're a lot longer than what I'm used to doing. I usually just do like shoulder length passion twist, which takes me about like 4 or 5 hours sometimes, but it was a lot of trial and error for me on this just to make sure that the pieces lined up the way they needed to, but it did take me about 9.5 hours. If you kind of know what you're doing and you have more like experience with making sure that the curls go the way that, you know, they're supposed to make sure that the twist actually formed the right way, then you can probably skim off, I would say, about like 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Also, I said that I usually do like shoulder length passion twists. On top of that, I've done them much thicker, and these are much smaller. If you guys can't tell, they're not small, they're like a normal size, but they're a lot smaller to me than what, and I'll insert like a picture on like the side of the screen here so that you guys can see what like the passion twists I've done in the past have looked like. This is a lot longer and a lot smaller than what I have usually done, which is what I think is the contributing factor to the length of time that it took for me to complete this style. And just to reiterate, I did use, like I said, color 4 and 613, and then some pieces I did use color 27, which I think it actually might be really pretty to kind of switch it up and add like the 27 all throughout the hair. I was initially going for that, but I couldn't figure out how to really get all that into one twist without making it too thick. And as you guys saw when I was demonstrating how to install the hair and how I parted it, you took like one strand of the hair itself of a color 4. You took like one strand of the color 4 and then one strand of the 613 and then split that in half and then combine those two halves together. Doing that with the 27 as well, I feel like just would have made it like thicker than what I would have wanted. And I didn't want any thick twist. Also, so I did the crochet method. So as you guys saw, I attached the rubber band to the root of my hair after I blow dried and parted it. When I attached it, let me get close. So when I attached it, you can obviously see that the rubber bands are like, well, you can't see, hopefully you can't see the rubber band. The rubber bands are here at the base of the parts themselves. It's raining really hard, so if you guys can hear that, I'm sorry. But the rubber bands are at the base of the parts themselves, and then I did tighten that and kind of pulled on it to make sure that it was as tight as possible. I went in with the crochet hook. You guys saw that I dragged it through and then did, you know, the whole shebang. Instead of doing the crochet method, if that is not something that you want to do, or if you feel like your hair or your scalp is kind of tender or weak, I would suggest doing the braided technique, which is super simple. It's basically like, it's not the same thing, but it's as if you were to start like a feed-in braid or a knotless braid, which I did post a knotless braid tutorial, which I will link up here, maybe, if I'm pointing in the wrong direction, sorry. But I'll link it in this video so you guys can refer back to that. But it's almost like you're feeding the hair in. So you would just split the section of hair into two, then have your extension piece as your third, and then you would just feed it in and braid it. And then from there you would combine the two of those sections together so that it would create the twist pattern. I wouldn't go down too far. I would say that if you're gonna braid, probably stop like about right there, just to make sure that it's anchored into your hair, and then continue the twist down. I really hope that that makes sense. If it didn't, let me know in the comments below and I'll try my best to kind of explain it a little bit better. Okay, so I think that's all the specs of this hair. I showed you guys the tools, showed you guys how I installed. It's a very repetitive style, so you're just twisting and twisting and twisting over and over again. Or if you're doing the braid for a little bit and then twist. Like I said, depending on your level of comfort, your level of experience installing extensions into your hair, then I would say that it would range from anywhere to like 5 to 9 hours, which I know is a big gap. It just kind of depends on your level of experience as well as how big you're making it. Again, I tried for the smaller kind of medium-sized look. If you're going for thicker, then you can obviously kind of shave down the time. I'm really excited to style this and kind of see what I can do with it, because when I have the shorter passion twisted, that's so easy to kind of just get up and style it really quickly. But with these, I don't know. I'm excited for the claw clip. I can do a half up, half down swoop, which, let me try that really fast. So yeah, please be sure to like this video. Also, please be sure to subscribe so you guys can see all of my upcoming videos. I do post lifestyle, self-care content, and then sometimes hair videos like this one. But I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys take care. Bye.
I wish I could stay.